London, 1897. A time where social standing was never more divided by the social class of the aristocracy, highly privileged and power-crazed. Scientific discovery was on the rise, with everyone full of wonder for the new century awakening round the bend. Museums showing the work of future visionaries like Madame Curie and Albert Einstein, showing that the world holds so much more to discover that was unseen from the naked eye. This was a glimmering hope that a new future had started a new path for England, for the world had opened up. The 19th century full of much more than science, much more than society. If science had been discovered, what else is hidden in the darkness of the unknown?
Diary, 18th May, London, 1897. This time has become a hard time for me, as my beloved Jonathan has taken an assignment across the icy seas to a remote part of the world in a country I have never heard of before. Oh, how I worry about him so much, but I am thrilled he was sent on such an important assignment, and wait patiently for all the news. It must be so delightful to be sent to exotic places and see wondrous lands full of such tales and beauty of a new unknown culture. I hope in the future Jonathan and I will be able to see such exotic lands and wonders, and through our love we will see much more than what the world will show us. I hope he is safe. I hope I hear from him soon. But until that time, I will keep him in my thoughts, sending my love across the oceans and forever in my heart.
The journey from Budapest was a long one, heading to some part of the country most did not dare to go near, for reasons most would not deem to speak of. Why all the mystery? Why so far out of the cities and towns, in one of the most isolated parts in the very far east of the country? On the train leaving Budapest, I felt we were leaving the west and entering the east, in a remote district part of the country, right in the middle of 3 states, Transylvania, Moldavia, and Bukovina, in the midst of the Carpathian Mountains, where I believe it known as one of the most wildest and unknown parts of Europe. The assignment I have been sent on has taken me far from London and into lands I never heard of before. Lands where I wonder how anything is flourishing, due to being in such remote areas full of nothing except tall mountains and dank forests with no life, almost like they were cloaked in some darkened spell, hiding them from the world outside of this place. My train ride here was like I was leaving all that I know behind me, to go somewhere no one should ever go. Thinking of my journey has filled me with fright that I cannot seem to shake, and remains with me, growing worse as each passing moment creeps nearer and nearer to a destination that I fear more than I comprehend. My heartbeat is becoming erratic, feeling it spread through my veins. But is it fear of the unknown, or could it be much more? Could it be these lands are whispering to me an unknown horror, waiting in my travels ahead? For my head is not able to reconcile rational thought at this moment in time, and therefore clouds my mind and compares my better judgment, tightly clinging to my emotions. Will the letter I received from our elusive client put me to rest, or will it deepen the fear that my mind and body is screaming at me, with every fiber of my being telling me to turn back before it's too late? They say the mind can play tricks on you, to drive you to the brink of insanity. But is my mind really tricking me, or warning me along with these exotic lands? All I can say is I will not know until I face this fear through my unknown destination, which I have to proceed onwards to the assignment I have been given at hand.
My friend, welcome to the Carpathians. I am anxiously accepting you. as the news informs me of your being the new predecessor on this venture of Mr. Renfield's. I hope that your travels to me have been full of beautiful sights to behold, as well as a safe one full of pleasantries to share. At the Borgo Pass, my carriage will await you and bring you to me. I hope your stay in my castle is enjoyable, as well as your stay in my beautiful exotic lands. As being new to the surrounding lands of my home, I sense you may feel a slight unease and discomfort, which I assure you, my new friend, I will help put to rest during our meeting and your stay with me. Your friend, D.
Before Jonathan's train journey, he saw beautiful landscapes that he never thought existed, with an aroma in the air that surrounded him, setting the landscapes off so perfectly, like it was to be held in time. The beautiful, perfumed aroma framed it like a hanging picture you could not stop looking at for one moment in case you missed the ever-blooming beauty. No more than 3 hours into his train journey, the landscape started to change, and the pleasant surroundings became darker and more gravelled out. By looking at it, he thought the earth itself was dying. The further east he went into the unknown wilderness, the more the scenery changed and became like nothing he'd ever seen before. Jonathan's journey was long and tiresome. The train taking him from Budapest to Moldavia had taken him 2 days, and even though he was comfortable in his surroundings on the train, the uncertainty of the unknown was ever so strong, keeping him from restful slumber, tossing and turning, having fearful thoughts that forever haunted his mind, horrors that could not be explained, seeing death, blood, and hearing whispers that he could not place. Through taking this assignment, the ever-eluded question was always being asked in his head, but with no one who could reveal the answer. This question would forever burn and forever yearn for the truth. A question that, until he knew the answer, his fear would heighten, because what if the same fate happened to him? Whatever that would be, getting worse each day. Before Jonathan took the assignment, he asked his boss of the law firm about the events of Mr. Renfield, but his boss would not be forthcoming with the answer and brushed him off with a rehearsed reply. There was only one person who could answer his question now, one person who saw what happened or was responsible for his demise. Deep down, did Jonathan really want to know? Knowing the truth can be reassuring, but sometimes finding out the truth can be a mistake. The question Jonathan Harker was urging to know could be his doom, and the question was, what happened to Mr. Renfield on his...
The distance I have travelled is vast away from any life or civilization in the mountains, where nothing could really live nor survive. The more my journey by carriage proceeded from Moldavia into the Carpathian Mountains, the more isolated this land became, except for a weird pack of wolves that seemed to follow the carriage's every stride it undertook, looking at us all in the carriage with a stare that looked like they saw right through you while surveillancing you under unseen orders. The presence of these wolves made everyone more uneased, feeling the chill in the air, leaving a sense of distance from one another that led to questioning looks. I could see their fear and knew there was something they were not informing me on, but I did not pry the matter, for I was unsure I wanted to know myself, even though the atmosphere was only heightening my wonder and fear more and more, wondering why this land was so dark beyond imagining. As the carriage came to a halt in the midst of nowhere, where I can only assume was the destination, I was instructed to depart to the Borgo Pass. The Borgo Pass was a dried-up dirt road with the skin of a dead wolf hanging off a wooden pillar, looking like some sacrifice to be honored. The wolves following us were now standing on the end of a small hill looking down, watching my every move with eyes that glowed with a mystical essence. The wolf's skin hanging off of the old wooden pillar made my heart pound faster and faster, feeling the intense atmosphere hitting me hard and making my legs become weak, starting to shake where I nearly lost my balance. As I turned around, the lady in the carriage reached out to me with a look of concern, pressing a rosary in my gloved hand. Her look was weird to me, and I wondered, why would someone so young be so fearful in her homelands? As her eyes looked up at mine and said, "Take care, for the dead travel fast."
No more than moments after the girl's words were spoken did the carriage door slam shut and ride off fast, like they were running from something unseen and feared for their lives. Since Jonathan was left alone in an unknown area, he started to feel uneased and was unsure of what action he shall do next due to the darkness cloaked around him, like a blanket darkening out everything to where he could not see beyond his face, until moments later, seeing a lucent light glimmering in the distance, coming towards him. It was the carriage Dracula sent him, arriving out of the darkness like it was made from it, in a seamless, gliding entrance, looking blacker than the night sky, giving off an eerie feeling that even made the darkness bow to its presence, like it ruled over this land in an unseen evil. The coachman looked rather unusual as well, his armor looking more like scales from a dragon, as he reached out to guide Jonathan towards the carriage door, with an arm that stretched longer as it glided through the air, making you question whether he's human, or could the lack of light be playing tricks on you to see things? What on this darkened journey could remain? What was waiting for Jonathan at the end of this journey from Borgo Pass to Dracula's castle in the middle of nowhere?
The remaining journey from the Borgo Pass to Dracula's castle was unpleasant. My body started to feel colder, like an icy wind washed over me. Yet it was a silent night with no wind in sight, and the silence was deafening. As the carriage continued on its journey, the wolves howled in unison at the night's full moon, making the most unholy sound until the deafening silence returned for the remainder of the journey ahead. Within an hour, my journey had come to a close, and standing in the courtyard of Dracula's castle, looking up at the vast size, thinking how old it must be and what secrets it must hold, as I took a step closer to see that the night covered the tops beyond my reach, to see looking like it never ended. As I took more steps toward the giant old doors of the main entrance, the light became brighter by fires, torches on the main walls of the entrance. The only light I had seen proper all night, and to see this light gave me a sense of comfort rushing over me. As I took more steps up the stairs to the entrance, the main doors opened effortlessly, like they were accepting me. A shadow appeared on my left, no doubt the Count himself I was sent here for. As the shadow disappeared, I turned my head and jumped in shock, startled to find the Count standing right in front of me. My heart jumped into my throat, leaving me speechless for a moment, until I pulled myself together and asked, "Count Dracula?"
Hello, my friend. I am Dracula. I bid you welcome to my home. Enter freely of your own will, and leave some of the happiness you bring. Yes, I am Dracula. Why not come in and make yourself at home?
As I walked into Dracula's home, it felt cold, old, and decrepit, with the only light coming from the fire torches. The castle appeared like it went on for ages, with never-ending halls and corridors. The scale of the castle made me think that there must be endless rooms, full of ancient tales to be told. Even though the place was dark, I could see beautiful artwork through the flooring and in the walls that aged over time. How amazing they must have looked when first made.
This way. Sit, my friend, and enjoy the dining luxuries of my homeland. After a long journey, you must be famished, so please, relax and enjoy. You may excuse me that I do not join you, for I have already dined tonight, and I never drink wine. So, my friend, please, inform me of your journey here. I hope it was pleasant and your needs were attended to. That is good. I am glad your journey here was a safe one. How are you enjoying your meal? I hope it is satisfactory to your needs. Now that you are here, I would like to get to know you more. My customs in my land are to be strange to an outsider like yourself, but do not be concerned. You will be accustomed in due time and feel at ease in my surroundings. So, inform me, how long have you been working for your current company, and have you ever been sent abroad to visit a client before in such exotic lands? Well, it seems you have been a loyal employee of theirs to be given such an important assignment, and to be the new predecessor to your employer, Mr. Renfield. He must have seen much potential in you, and a man of good taste.
As Jonathan enjoyed the luxurious dinner, Dracula talked to him about the beauty of his lands and old tales of his lineage dating back centuries. As Jonathan finished the meal offered to him, he thanked Dracula for his hospitality before they headed to another room in the castle to talk over and refine the paperwork on the assignment at hand. The lighting was much better here than the rest of the castle, showing a huge old-fashioned desk where business was to proceed, and as the documents were signed, Dracula had a request at hand.
Now, my friend, I require you to write a letter to your firm and to any loved ones, informing them that it pleases you to stay with me till a month from now, to learn about my country's customs and explore these beautiful lands. It would be my pleasure to host you here for such a period of time, for you have traveled so far. I will take no refusal.
What have I done by taking this assignment? Dracula has insisted I stay with him here till a month from now. I sense something is wrong, but I will write these letters as insisted, for a gentleman never disrespects offers made as genuine as his. But as I write these letters, I sense Dracula's reasoning behind me being here is not so clear, and he has a reason behind his longing of me staying. A reasoning I long to know, yet also hesitate to know. Only time will tell. Only time will set me to rest, or set me on a journey to test my own sanity.
Jonathan. Jonathan. Jonathan.